Hello, guys. Welcome back to the channel. It's your Chelsea Godfather reporting back to duty. Guys, Neymar. Let's talk about two players, Neymar and Declan Rice. And you're like, what? Where did these two names come from? They literally fell out of the sky. Guys, no. Let's just keep it real. Neymar. A couple of media outlets. Actually, not more than a couple. A lot of media outlets have reported the fact that Chelsea has an interest in signing Neymar, and particularly Todd Bowley has had that interest of signing a marquee star. And I didn't know. I mean, perhaps the fact that we lost, Kante to the Saudis, that may have freed up at least some kind of quote unquote salary cap space for a big name player to come to the club and earn 300K or so per week. Now, Neymar. I mean, how does Neymar even find his way to Chelsea? Well, the issue, based on reports, it's a bit of a triangular issue at play, and this involves Man City. Involves City, and in particularly involves the movement of Bernardo Silva, who, if you all know, he's really been trying to move out of the city since the beginning of this season. He tried to make a move to Barcelona, but obviously you all already know that Barca has financial difficulties, so they weren't able to financially make it happen. And he obviously, Silva is a professional player, so he wasn't really like pushing hard for it. He wasn't making any noise. He stayed back at City, and it's pretty much been a key piece of this City team that's on the verge of winning the treble. So obviously Barker is not in the picture. So really, the club that's in the picture. The irony here is the club in the picture is none other than PSG. I mean, wow. I mean, it's like PSG, guys. What is it? We just keep on finding ourselves butting heads with PSG. Chelsea against PSG for players. This is getting crazy. But yeah, business is not personal. And the situation is that if PSG is able to sign, hinges on. And for me, how do I feel about the possibility of Neymar coming to, Chelsea? Well, let's put my personal feelings on the shelf for the time being and look at what our coach, Pochettino, pretty much had to say about his experience, right, in training Neymar, because obviously Poch trained Neymar when Poch was his coach at PSG, and he says it's so easy with Neymar because you don't need to do too much. From day one, he's been very open to work. He's very humble. He listens and always accepts the instructions in a very good way. Brazilian players have something special inside. They love to play football because it's like a dance. They play like they are dancing. Uh, Ronaldinho was my teammate when I was a PSG player, and now Neymar. They need to feel good, to feel happy, to perform in the best way. And he the article mentions that Neymar scored 24 times. That's right. Neymar scored 21 goals with 16 assists in 47 games under Pochettino. So clearly, and this is obviously a season where um, Poch has really done his best. Obviously, they didn't win the league. They did not win the league. I'm sorry, they won the league, but they did not win. They got uh, eliminated from Champions League, and Pochettino got fired. So, um, but I was going to mention, yeah, this is a season where Neymar had to miss chunks of the season due to ankle injury. So yeah, I mean he is 31 years old. He's obviously still productive. Obviously, I mean y'all gonna say France league, but remember um, um, Silva, Thiago Silva played at PSG, and he's pretty much our bet. He's one of our top two or top three players, even though he's almost 40 years old. So I mean I wouldn't hold anything against Neymar in terms of his stats at PSG. My concern for Neymar is pretty much more or less the fact that over the last two seasons, he's just been increasingly been getting more and more injured. And if we're not going to, if we're going to, I mean, given the fact that Chelsea made the decision not to extend Kante's contract due to his injury issues. When you compare the fact that Kante and Neymar are pretty much the same age, it wouldn't make sense from me if you're concerned about signing injured, like potentially uh, injury-prone player on a very high wage because he's gonna take Kante's slot in terms of money. I mean, if you sign Neymar, Neymar is not making 250K a week. He's gonna make it much more than that. He's gonna make it like 300 plus a week. That's crazy money for Todd Bowley's current wage structure, right? The current wage structure under Bowley has most players earning under 100,000 pounds per week. So yeah, so that's a massive question mark. So, but on the positive side with regards to Neymar is the fact that in terms of creativity, in terms of scoring goals, that's where he can help Chelsea because those are two areas where we are in dire need of help. And the fact that Pochettino has worked positively with Neymar. This is a player that he actually knows very well. So if it was the fact that we had another coach who did not know about this player, then I would really be more concerned. But the fact that Pochettino has worked with the player, and notwithstanding the fact that the player Neymar may not necessarily fit in terms of high press and things of that nature, I feel like Pochettino will know how to mitigate that weakness in Neymar's game and make it work. So, but anyway, it's still obviously much sort of down the road kind of deal. It's still going to take quite a while to see if something like this can even happen. But let's just keep our eyes open on the possibility of Neymar coming to Chelsea. As I mentioned, it all hinges really on Bernardo Silva. If Silva goes to PSG, then that would be the pretty much the green light for Chelsea to move strong and collect Neymar, because Neymar at that point in time is going to be a bit more uh, dispensable than he currently is. Now, moving along to the next player, that would be none other than Declan Rice, and you're like, what? Declan Rice? How does? I mean, we thought that it was Arsenal. Arsenal is going to sign Declan Rice, right? That's what we all. That's what we. Everybody, as if it's a done deal, but it's not a done deal, right? It's not. Declan Rice to Arsenal is not a done deal. I mean, like, we all were 100% sure that it was Mudryk to Arsenal, done deal, right? Wrong, wrong. It wasn't a done deal. It's Mudryk to a Chelsea, done deal. So it's not a done deal till the deal is done. Manuel Ugarte to Chelsea, done deal, right? Wrong. Ugarte to PSG, done. So nothing is done until it's done. And I looked a bit closer at this at the possibility of Chelsea going after Declan Rice, and the more I think about it, the more it actually makes sense, right? Like, everybody has us linked with Caicedo and Lavia and all these guys, but what actually makes sense is an established holding mid fielder who is happy to sit back and do the holding midfield walk. And that is Declan Rice's description. Okay, that's number one. Then number two is the price, right? West Ham doesn't have to sell. Notwithstanding that, promises may have been made, so on and so forth. That doesn't mean anything. You can go and ask Harry Kane. It means nothing. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is that these clubs are about to they want to max out. They want to max out either by the player being on the field playing for them, or in the transfer fee. And guys, the last time that we checked, we Chelsea fans, we already know the last time that we checked about the possibility of Declan Rice, his price was well over 100 million pounds. Now, guys, Declan Rice has 2 years left on his contract, and Declan Rice is only 24 years old. Guys, do you really believe Rice is going to go for like 70 or like 80 million pounds? That's not happening. That's not happening. I'll be shocked if it happens. Let me just put it that way. Anything can happen in life, but I'm going to be shocked if West Ham sells Declan Rice to Arsenal for anything under 80 million pounds. It's going to be a very high number. It's going to be a very high. It's going to be minimum 90 million plus to buy Declan Rice. And West Ham could really care less whether Declan Rice goes to Arsenal, Chelsea, Man U, or Liverpool. All they care about is the final fee. And that is where everything is still up in the air for everybody. So I know Arsenal fans have been counting their chicken. They've been counting their little chicks and whatnot, just like they had hatched. They had counted chicks before eggs were like hatched in Ukraine for the Mudryk deal, only to now find out that Mudryk was on a PJ heading to the wrong part of London. Anything can still happen with regards to the Declan Rice deal. And in terms of Declan Rice, here's what Declan Rice had to say after he lifted the trophy, yesterday, the European conference trophy. And he basically talked about JT. Yep, you all know JT. That's our Mr. Chelsea himself, Terry, John, Terry. And he says, listen, I based my whole game on John when I was when I was younger, and I was released by Chelsea. He called for 45 minutes, and I remember remember I was sat in my room next to my dad. It was JT. I could not believe it. He handed out all he handed over all of his experience and advice. He said to never stop, always keep working hard and give everything you have. It stayed in my head, and look at where I am now. No dream is far away. I last met John for a 2 hour breakfast with my cousin about 6 months ago. And sometimes I text him like when he retired, and he replied, "Thanks, mate. It's your time now." Guys, that pretty much says it all. I mean, he's in close contact with JT. What do y'all think that Declan Rice and JT going to be talking about? How to convince Declan Rice to go and sign for Arsenal? Does that make sense? Really? Guys, listen, it's all up in the air. Y'all can believe what you want to believe, but just remember where you heard it first. Take care. God bless y'all, and subscribe to my channel. Peace.